For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Glad to have you along. It is the end of August and the beginning of September already. It's just amazing how fast this year is going, but I think we all want to see 2021 out of the way as quick as possible. So joining us now as our first guest is Dr.H. Bacheldor, the Chief Medical Officer of Asension River District Hospital. Welcome to the program, sir.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
A couple of things we wanted to get you in here to talk about. One is COVID, obviously. You've got your mask right next to you there. I've got mine in my pocket, and we are distanced pretty well here.
A little more.
Yeah, a little more. Okay. But also there's a flu clinic coming up at the September 17th, I think it is, on a Thursday.
Correct.
And talk to me about all the above.
So this is the Rotary Flue Clinic, and we have done this for a number of years. I can't remember how many years we've done it off, but a number, long before I became involved in Rotary. And it's a joint venture between Rotary and East China Township, for adults only, not for kids, but they sponsor it and they cover the cost of the flu shot, so it's free to participants.
Wow.
We used to do it on Saturday mornings along with the health clinic, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, we're really kind of trying to limit exposure of people. So we're going to do it from 2 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening on Thursday the 17th. Residents of St. Clair and also of East China Township are welcome to come. We require that you wear a mask, and we will limit how many people come in at one time. We'll have Rotary volunteers there as well as staff kind of shepherding and doing crowd control, but making sure we're doing it wisely and also making sure that we're providing the flu immunizations. And it's really important everybody gets a flu immunization this year. Everybody from 6 months of age on up really needs a flu vaccination, so we limit the exposure of folks to flu. We don't know what's going to happen with the coronavirus. We don't know if there's going to be a second wave. We all anticipate that happening. We're not certain if it's going to happen, but we want to make sure that we get kind of enough people away from the flu, so we're not going to try and differentiate what's flu, what's coronavirus. So
the world is scared. The world has never seen anything like this since 1918.
Yeah.
With the pandemic itself, but the importance of battling and preparing from the general flu is still there, even though the pandemic is there, right? Correct?
Right, and the flu kills as many people, probably more, every year. So we really want to make sure that we protect ourselves against the flu and protect ourselves against the coronavirus as well. So wearing a mask, making sure you're out when you're out, wearing a mask, making sure you're social distancing, making sure that you wash your hands frequently, use sanitizer, all those things. Contrary to what, there's a lot of information out there. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's inappropriate. But those are the things that we know right now that are going to limit our ability to get exposed to the coronavirus.
You brought along a slide, and that is on our bulletin board too. And so it's residents of East China Township, residents of St. Clair. They are eligible to come to River District Hospital into the lobby there. Thursday, September the 17th, 2 to 7 p.m. Is there any cost to it to the individual?
No cost.
Oh, that's
The cost is borne by Rotary and East China Township. They share in the cost. So, yeah.
Okay. And I don't have to be worried about standing in line very long because you've got it set up that people will move along pretty good.
Hopefully we'll keep everybody social distance and we have enough time so we can get people in, get them out, and move them along and keep them separated.
Okay.
Everybody has to wear a mask.
Okay, now, anything else going on at Asension River District Hospital that we should be aware of?
No, we're getting back to speed. Business is up to where we were. We're kind of at 90% of what we were doing before the pandemic hit. Surgeries are back on track. We're screening folks. We're doing the testing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. We have staff out there doing testing, and we're doing, before people come in for surgery, we require that they have a negative test.
When should I be tested? If I don't feel good, or is there parameters there?
Well, only if you have symptoms, or if you've been in close contact with someone who has coronavirus. So to go and just get tested is really not worthwhile.
Okay.
You could be negative today and then positive tomorrow. So it's really only if you're going to have a procedure where we think there's going to be what we call aerosol generating procedure, where you're going to coughing or expectorating or the potential for that. And if you've exposed you're someone who is, in close contact with someone who has been found to be positive, or you've been notified that they were positive, or if you got symptoms. And the symptoms we used to say were like a cough, a fever,
Right.
body aches, the flu type symptoms, but also now, and flu never really had kind of gastrointestinal symptoms, diarrhea associated with it, but now we're finding that people with coronavirus can have some gastrointestinal symptoms too. So diarrhea is along with fever, body aches, cough, those type of things too. So
just be aware, and as you've said many times, be aware of yourself, be aware of your body, what's happening with your body, how you feel, and don't fool around with it.
Right.
Act on it.
Right. Act on it. Contact, if you think you have it, contact your doctor. Don't just show up at the office, because obviously if you have it and you walk into the office, you're going to expose a whole host of other people plus healthcare workers to it. So we're going to be, actually down at River District, we're going to be setting up a respiratory care clinic in the near future here. So if you think you have either the flu or the coronavirus, you can go there and get tested. We'll have staff that has the appropriate personal protective equipment available, and they can test you, rapid test for flu, and then we can also do the coronavirus testing. We have coronavirus testing. We have there is a limitation on the rapid tests. Abbott has kind of limited what they're giving out now, and a lot of it's going down to the southern states, so we have a little shortage of that. But through Asension, we have a machine that we can test, and we get results back in 24 hours.
Wow.
So much faster than the state used to do, much faster than some of the other places are doing, so it's a plus.
So like anything else, don't fool around with it. If you've got some questions, pick up the phone, call.
Correct.
And you guys and your staff are...
Yep. Call your family doctor, and they should be able to arrange for testing for you. We can do the drive-up clinic Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. If you've been exposed, the doctor sends the order to the hospital, and they call you and give you a time so you can be there. And then, like I said, we'll be standing up, as closer to flu season, we'll be standing up a respiratory care clinic. So then it'll be like an urgent care clinic, but just for the respiratory things. So we don't expose all of our offices and staffs to potential coronavirus.
Okay, one more time, September the 17th. Let's go through that. It's going to be a free flu shot clinic for residents of East China Township and the city of St. Clair.
Correct. 2 to 7.
2 to 7. And what do I have to do?
Show up.
No, I don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay anything. I just show up.
Nope, with a mask on.
With a mask on.
With your mask on.
With your mask on?
Yeah.
All right. And the modeling of his mask is Dr.H. Lee Bacheldor. Thank you. I'd shake your hand, but we're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, we aren't. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Paul.
See you on the 17th.
Thank you for the time.
All right. We'll be back with our next guest in just a second. And we are back with a guy who wants to keep talking, so we'll just let him keep talking. Welcome to get back to the Focus program. Patrick Patterson, nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you.
Executive Director of BWROC.
Yeah, the Blue Water Recovery and Outreach Center, BWROC. Thanks for having us on the show.
And you brought a young man by the name of Dave Wood from the St. Clair Police Department with you. You dragged him in, didn't you?
He came willingly. Not so much.
Gentlemen, welcome. Nice to see you. There's a big, huge event coming up September the 13th at 1 o'clock, Pine Grove Park. It's going to be the only baseball game held there this year. What's it all about?
Well, let me start out by just saying we're absolutely honored to be in a position to play this game. This is much bigger than ourselves. It's much bigger than our organization and the police department. And we're just really humbled and honored to be in a position to play the police and to play something that the community is embracing and coming behind. And it's about a very important cause that years ago we said we all knew somebody that struggled with addiction. Now we all say we all know somebody who died from addiction.
That's correct. That's correct.
And it's really impacted our community, and we're just grateful and honored to be in a position to play each other and come together as united organizations for a common cause and a common purpose to make our community a better place.
Dave, you were sort of dragged into this interview in the last minute here, kicking and screaming, but we're glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
In your work, you probably see what Patrick has been talking about on not maybe a daily basis. I don't know. Tell me about it.
Well, yeah, we deal with people who use drugs quite often. A lot of times they are possibly overdosing from some type of drug, who just don't want to deal with life anymore. So sometimes we're there to help them that way. other ways is we sometimes have to arrest them, and this is an opportunity to meet people and show them that we are human too, and we're just good guys too out here just doing our job.
And it's a tough job now. There's so much on the news every day about your kind of work, police work, and it's not an easy job. It never was an easy job, but it's a job that many men and women love and volunteer to do, as you did.
Yeah, and it's been a challenging time right now. We're just trying to stay positive and do the best job that we can for our community. That's what we're here for.
So you got together with Chief Raker and with Chief Platzer from Port Huron, Chief Raker from St. Clair, and you organized this softball game.
Yes.
So what's going to happen?
Well, make no mistake, we're going to bring it.
So these are some of your clients?
Well, they're participants in the recovery community, and we use softball as an outlet. And every year we put together a tournament called the Blue Water Recovery Classic Softball Tournament, which is a statewide event held in Port Huron. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We have it every year. It's held in Port Huron, put on by our organization, and we couldn't have it this year. And we couldn't go to any tournaments either.
Right.
And so we have a lot of softball. Addiction is a disease of isolation. Mm-hmm. And when we have to isolate, we make bad decisions. And the coronavirus has made a very difficult and challenging situation. But part of BWROC's mission is to help those that struggle with addiction by putting on something we can do, recovery events. So it's very common. If you go to our Facebook page and click on the photos, you'll see all kinds of events that we've held in the last couple of years. Bowling, hockey, you name it, we try to do it. We brought 40 people down to the Tigers game. Why is that important? Because it's the counterweight to self-pity, isolation. I don't feel very good about myself because my family doesn't like me anymore. So we need to hit the refresh button and build something that people can look forward to. And we're not trying to say this is going to solve the problem, but there's a lot of things that are going to help aid in that. And so when I put on an event, it gives me something to look forward to, it's positive, and it's great energy to have. And most of the people, this was unfathomable just a few short years ago, right? Mm-hmm. I've never done anything with the city in my life, let alone build an ice rink that we did in the wintertime, play in a charity softball game. So we're bringing the two communities together to say, we're people, and it makes us feel human again when we get to partner with the community and do something great with them.
Yeah. Your Blue Water ROC got its start basically in industrial facilities, right? Right. You were going in and helping people there?
Sure.
Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, now we have our own office inside St. Clair County's largest manufacturing employer. So we've been growing. We brought on our third staff member in May. So we have a group of recovery coaches now that help work one-on-one with those that struggle with addiction. And with the coronavirus, support groups operate in a different capacity than they did a year ago. So it's been very challenging, to say the least, with this segment or our group of individuals that we serve. So one-on-one sometimes is the only outlet. And so we offer one-on-one support, recovery events, and we work in the workplace. Starting next week, we'll be at a hospital. We work alongside the Department of Health and Human Services and the recovery housing. So those are majority of our agency customers, and then those that walk in the door consist of maybe 25 to 30% of our people that struggle with addiction. And making partnerships like we have today, giving them our card and saying, hey, when you're on the streets and you see somebody that's struggling with addiction, we're not here trying to claim that we're the organization or the people that are solving the problem. We're just trying to come at this from a standpoint of trying to be helpful.
So if I know somebody in my family, in my workplace, that I think might be struggling, well, how should I contact you?
888-68-BWROC. We had a message left on our voicemail at 6 a.m. last week. I called this number. I wound up in the hospital because from alcohol, and I don't know how I got here. I don't have my phone, and I don't have my wallet. And I'm sitting in a hospital bed, and the only number I could remember was 888-68-BWROC.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, that was last week, and we delivered the cell phone and the wallet to him.
Marvelous, marvelous.
So, thank you.
Good work. Let's talk now a little inside baseball, and that's appropriate for this question. how strong is the St. Clair team?
Well, we're partnered with Port Huron.
Oh, you're going to
So
partner with, okay.
Hopefully we make them stronger. That's the plan anyways. Hopefully we'll be competitive. So
Okay.
we've never played together. This is kind of thrown together, and we were able to partner with Port Huron to hopefully put a team together that can have some fun and give us something to do on a Sunday night afternoon.
How many participants will you have?
We'll have 11 on our team. We'll have some prize giveaways sponsored by Meyer. We'll be picking those prizes out pretty soon, which we'll give away during an inning. Each inning is also sponsored by an organization, so all proceeds will be split between the St. Clair Police Department, Port Huron Police Department, and BWROC. The mayor will throw out the first pitch, so we'll try to have, it to be more than just a game.
Okay. So if I'm a sponsor, if I'm a corporation or a company and I want to help support it, again, just call you.
Call 888-68-BWROC, or you can look me up, Patrick Patterson, on Facebook, or email me at ppatterson@bwroc.org. It's $500 an inning, and we have two innings left to sponsor. So the rest of the innings are already all covered.
Okay, very good.
But some of them have their donations, like Meyer is not a cash donation. Country Style Marketplace is helping with some advertisements and that stuff. So.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Have we missed anything? What happens after the baseball? What do you got coming up later this fall?
Round 2. Whoever loses is probably going to want to come back and play again. So next
for a
year,
rematch,
a rematch. Who knows? Maybe we'll say best 2 out of 3. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll do 9 innings, and this will just be one game this year. Maybe next year we'll, see what happens and
see if Tiger Stadium's available.
See if Tiger Stadium's available or Ford Field. He looks pretty good. I just got this feeling he's big, and I got a feeling they're going to bring it.
I hope we do. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, Dave, always good seeing you. Patrick, always good seeing you, sir.
Thanks for having us
Always a
on.
pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Paul.
And that's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingerman, the aforementioned. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingerman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.